Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to episode number 3 in our Bedrock Realm series. And I am here at our jungle house. This week I've been trying to work on doing different things here, and I've been struggling to figure out exactly how I wanted to approach this area, because this is the area I want to work on for a few episodes. And I've been just doing little random projects and doing starts and stops with recording, and I think that the problem is that this is the area that Gunnif and I first started building when we came to the new realm. And so there's lots of projects I started here that are in various states of being done, and so it's one of those things where I'm trying to approach it and find a good place to start. And there's so many things I can do that it kind of kicks in that I just can't get anything done. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and just kind of give a little tour around the place to show off what's here, what we've done, what I'd like to work on, and then we'll get started working on one of the projects. So I'm just going to come to this side first. This is the multicolored sheep farm that me and Gunnif made. It's pretty simple. It's nothing automatic about it. Just a bunch of different sheep so we can shear them and get different colored wools that we need. And it's, like I said, with a lot of things, so we started it, haven't really finished decorating it. And so it's something that's on the to-do list to finish. Over this direction, you can see that there is a building over there that's something Gunnif's working on. So I'm not going to show it off until she's ready to. You can kind of get a sneak peek from there. But that's something she's working on. This area up here, I was just doing some terraforming for some different things I'd like to do. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with this at the moment, but there is a big flat area up here I made. If we come down here, I'm working on changing this hill up. This is the giant poppy field from Psy. He did it as a prank, but Gunnif decided she liked it, and I kind of do too, because it makes me think of the Wizard of Oz with the big giant poppy field. So we just leave the poppies there for now. We have a couple of farms down here we built when we first got here. Cows, and then we had wheat growing here. I haven't replanted it. Melons, and then the sugar cane. This spot here, actually, funny enough, is land that wasn't here. This used to be open straight up to the ocean, and then I thought I wanted to have a place that closed in to make a lagoon over here, so I started building an artificial little inlet on the land. You can see I have not quite finished doing the bottom of it, so it's got a very solid wall here that's not tapered off or anything. Down here is a little aquarium, underwater open aquarium type thing I built with a conduit so that we can be down here, we can breathe, and the idea is that we can see the turtles down here, and we can use bone meal to get sea pickles and coral and all those things down here. There's a ravine down there that we definitely need to explore at some point. If we come over this way, this is Gunnif's house that she's been building. This is where my bed is also. I'll show you just a little bit inside, but really this is something she's working on more. She has a little area for animals down beneath. There's a dock out here for us to bring our boats in when we are out doing things. And up inside is just a little storage room. We have some allays that we captured, our dragon head. And then this is our bedroom. I kind of like the bed design. It was modified off of some things I've seen online, but mostly we just put it together to kind of look like a 4-poster bed. And I kind of like it. It's neat. There's storage around, and if we come out here, this is our little fishing dock. So we have fishing poles, we have stuff we've caught fishing, and then our fish chest. And then we can just stand out here and fish to our heart's content without worrying about mobs getting up here. If you look up there, this is one of my biggest projects that is unfinished. That is a drown farm. It works, and I am slowly building what's going to be a hot air balloon to encase it. And I think it'll look cool once it's done. when it's not thunderstorming, you can actually see it from the dock, which was kind of the idea. Let me sleep here so that we can pass on the thunderstorm. And so you can kind of see it a little better now. I'm going with a rainbow theme. I need to get a lot more wool to finish it out. And I'm just kind of building it freehand. I'm not using any kind of design. So I want to have like the funnel at the bottom and then have it go out into a big round balloon. And then the bottom there, that square that's currently there, is just the area where you stand to collect the XP and items from the drown. I'm going to make a basket there. I think it'll be cool once it's done, but it is a project that's going to take some time. So let's move on to see some more stuff. We come this way. You can see over there in the distance there is a little ravine that goes underwater. We have a plank going across that's just to mark where we're going to build another bridge. So that's another project that I need to work on. Over here, this was originally just a big jungle. Gunnif has made a area for bees that she has started. We cleared out some of the bamboo, but there's still some left. And then this is where I have started doing tree farms. So I have a jungle farm here, spruce farm next to it, dark wood over there. And I built these in a specific way so that each of these farms has 16 spots. Since they take 4 saplings for each one, you can replant the entire farm with 1 stack of saplings. You get a ton of wood if you harvest the whole thing. And it's like half a shulker box full from each of these farms. So you chop it all down, fill it up, and then you fill up a shulker box with wood. I've been working on that over here. I have some filled up. I'd like to get some more wood saved up. If we come around to this side, we have oak here that I have a really dense pattern that I've always used so that the oak can grow right in next to other oak trees. And so when they're planted really tight like this, eventually they grow even if they're really jammed in like that. And then there's light in just the right spots to make it so that every spot in the grid here has light. And it'll fill up and it'll make really big, tall, like one solid oak tree. And you can get a lot of saplings and a lot of wood out of it. And then the birch, I spaced out a little more because they don't quite grow like that. But here's a place to farm birch. One thing that's unique about our realm is that we have our tick speed up to 10 instead of the normal 1. And so I will show you, if you cut down our trees, grab some saplings, and you replant the saplings. I don't know if it'll be quite fast enough that we'll be able to see it, but instead of it taking a long time for the saplings to regrow, they grow fairly quickly. Because they're basically, the growth ticks are happening 10 times as fast. And so I think if I chop down all these trees, by the time I'm done, I'll have another birch tree grown. It's not super fast, so it's not like I can just sit here and just grow one tree over and over and over. But we can grow a pretty decently quick farm here. And you can see we get a lot of saplings back from just this small amount of trees. And so we can just sit here and farm wood to our heart's content. I guess I'm not going to get to see a tree popping up that quickly, but they do come back fairly quickly. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll cut down birch trees and then I'll cut down a little section of oak wood. And by the time I'm done, they'll all have grown back. I'm expanding out over here to add in a spot for other tree types. I want to do the acacia from the savannas, and then I want to do the nether woods and mangrove as well, so that I have a place to just manually farm all the wood that I need. Oh, there we go. We already have a tree grown here. So you can see I can just kind of sit here and harvest wood to my heart's content, because that one's already grown too. And it's not quite fast enough that like I have another one by the time I cut down a tree, but it's pretty darn quick. If it is growing, you see that one already grew back. But so if it isn't growing that fast, I always have the option to use bone meal as well. And that is going to take us to our next stop, because we have a skeleton farm underneath the farms over here. So let me get over to it. For now, I just have a pillar over here marking the ladder down. I would like to make a better entrance to it at some point. So if we come down the ladder here, and this is still in progress. So right now I have a section that opens up here that I've been working up top. You can see down into it, but I'll show you a better entrance where we actually go down if we go down to this level. Like I said, eventually I want to have like an elevator that takes us right to it and everything. This was our original mining area. So if you go down all the way to the bottom, there is a ladder that goes all the way down to the diamond level to mine, and then this level is where we were mining for iron and coal. This is an experimental automatic fishing farm I was messing around with. It does work, but it's not really something I'm interested in because you have to use an auto clicker for it. But anyway, this is the skeleton farm. So there's a skeleton spawner in there. The skeleton spawn, the water collects them all into a stream. The stream collects them into this tube, which takes them up to the top and drops them down. And they land here. You can kill them. I've been digging parts of it out, so it's not 100% functional. I have some light getting in from the bottom, so it slows everything down. So we only get a little bit of skeletons, but that's because I'm still working on everything. The goal is to change this up so that it uses a trident killer to kill the skeletons, and then that there's a sorting system to sort everything out. And I want to use this as a place for me to get arrows and bows and bones. I don't really need it for the XP all the time anymore, because this area is... It's nice to have it here so that while we're here at this base, if we just need to do some quick repairs, we can use the skeletons for it. But if we need to do massive amounts of enchanting or repairs, we do it over at the Guardian farm, because it's much faster. I gotta remember that I have all my tools down here. I gotta grab them on my way out and put them back in my ender chest. But yeah, just some unfinished projects here. This is probably the next thing I'm going to work on, but I'm not quite ready to do it yet. Let me grab these shulker boxes and put them away. I'm missing one, but that's over at the farm. I'll grab that on our way out. The next thing I'm going to show you is inside of our drowned farm, so you can see what it's like over there, because that's also something I'd like to do some more work on. So you can see I have quite a bit of projects around here, like I said, and so we're going to get started on some of them. We'll probably be going back and forth from here to other areas, but I'd like to get a few episodes where we get some stuff done here, because like I said, me and Gunna share this area. I think she'd like to see some of these projects finished instead of just half finished. Let me come over here and grab my redstone chest. That's the one that's still out. At least then my ender chest storage system is all filled up, so I can grab all my things. This is all the wood types that I'm currently working on adding to the farm. My goal is to get at least one shulker box full of each one. Like I said, I have some of them done already. Before we go over to the drowned farm, I just want to show you another thing that we were working on. Is we made a tunnel under here through the water that goes underneath, and it goes out here. And the reason we did that is because we have a couple of villages that are out along this river, and so this is our way to bring villagers back to this area. Eventually we want to set up some villagers, not necessarily for villager trading specifically, but just to have some life around the area. And so that's what that's for. We're going to decorate that tunnel to make it a little nicer. Let's head back up to the nether portal and head out to the drowned farm. So the only way to access the drown farm currently is to either fly up there or to go through the nether. And if we go out this portal, right next to us there's a little tunnel that goes this way, and then it goes to another portal back here. Eventually I plan to expand my mini hub on the gold tunnel to encompass all of these, because these are not far from the hub I made in the last episode. But so this is that box underneath the hot air balloon I showed you before, and you can see the hot air balloon is slowly getting formed. The drown farm is actually up above. Pretty simple design where the drown spawn, they get pushed down by the water into the chamber where they get killed with a trident killer. There's a couple that are kind of stuck over there right now, but eventually they work their way down, they fall in, and then when I turn on the trident killer, it takes them out, and we get XP from it, and we get tridents, and we get other things. So the goal is to finish the balloon to go up and encompass this thing completely and have it be self-contained inside the balloon. And then this area will be probably shifted down so that I can change it up just a little bit and make it so that this all fits inside of a wicker basket. So the way this works, and this is one I built very early on. Let's see if I can just turn it on. I think there's a trident in there. Nope, no trident. Which means I have to grab one of them. I don't know that I have any that are enchanted with impaling. I'll just use a regular one. But so what we would have to do is get rid of some glass here just so we can get inside. And then we would put this like that. Oh, we have water flowing in the wrong direction. Oh, that's probably because I turned it off at a weird spot. That'll do. Go back down and grab the glass that came out. But so you can see now that we have that trident in there. If I didn't just pick it up by accident. If you stand underneath here, the drowns will fall down. Since the trident keeps getting moved around, it kills the drowned and they drop their items, and then they also send XP to me. It's pretty loud. Sorry about that. Let me go turn it off. But so this was the first XP farm I built so that I could get tridents. You can see if we have it turned off, then the drown just kind of pile up there because there's nothing to take them out. So again, an early on project that could use a lot of work to make it a little better. Kind of like everything else we have. But so I think that the first project I'm going to work on, like I said, is the skeleton farm. I'd like to get that modified to do a few more advanced features. One is that I would like to continue to have a spot where when it's set that way, the skeletons will come through like they do now, where they just land and then they have one heart left and you can just hit them with your tool to manually do repairs. That way, especially for Gunnif, if she is here working at the base, she can just come down here, and like I said, I'll have an elevator with some water, like a water elevator, to bring it down to make it real easy for her to get down here. And then she can just come down, repair her tools, and head out. And then the next thing I want to add in is I want to change it so that there is a switch that makes it so instead of going up through this chute up here, they will get redirected into a kill chamber below that uses a trident killing system, and then the items will be sorted and the XP will be transported up to wherever I make the AFK spot, which will have to be inside here to make it so that the skeletons will spawn. And then that way I can stand and AFK holding a looting sword preferably, and that will allow me to get large amounts of drops. All get sorted as we go, and we can handle it that way. And then the third thing I'd like to add in is a way that I can redirect the skeletons so that instead of going directly into the kill chamber, they can get sent through a system that turns them into strays, so that I'll be able to farm slowness arrows from them. So it's quite a lot of projects to work into one. Also finishing the area and just getting it decorated to look like I want. And the final thing, you can kind of see all this skulk here, is we had it set up so that there was a skulk catalyst, and then we could use this system to generate skulk, and then we could just mine it up because some people wanted to use it for building. It also stores XP when you store it like that. So I might build in a system where I can do that a little more automated, so that you AFK and the XP is put into skulk, which is then pushed off for storage, and we'll be able to collect the skulk either for building or just to get XP from a large section that has been stored. So those are all the different projects around what I refer to as our jungle base, and I'd love to hear some feedback as to things you want me to build. Oh, up there, I forgot to mention that there is a amethyst geode cluster. I think I want to automate those so that there is a system that uses a daylight sensor to break off the amethyst and collect it. Wow, you won't get a fortune like that, because right now what I do is I go up there with a fortune pick and I pull it off. I can make it so that you can get it while you're just AFK down here, and we'll have more than enough amethyst than we'd ever need. But all those different projects are things I want to work on in the near future or sometime in the future. So if you'd love to, if you would like to give me some feedback, I would love it if you could tell me which things you'd like to see, and any other ideas you might have for things we could do. But I think that's going to be all that we can do for today. Took us a pretty long time to go around and do a tour, but now we get to see where we're at, and now we have a list of projects, and I can just start working on them, and hopefully I won't have so much trouble with trying to figure out what to start first. So hope you enjoyed watching it, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.